Hello, I'm going to talk you through on this Honda PCX how the key fob has replaced the traditional ignition key in allowing the bike to be immobilized or opened and the ignition switch used. The key fob has got two functions, two buttons. The topmost, as I'm holding it like this, the key ring slot is at the bottom. The topmost allows you to identify the bike, maybe a busy street scene or a dark car park. And from a distance, when pressed, I can identify the bike when the hazards flash. And helpfully, it illuminates the ignition switch, which I'll talk to you about later, that allows you then to start the bike. The lower button, which has got a key and a radio frequency icon on it, when pressed, immobilizes the bike or opens the bike. It takes the immobilizer off. I press it once, keep it pressed, and it went from green open to red immobilized. And if I press it again, it starts off at red flashing. I keep it pressed and it goes to green open. And when open, it illuminates the ignition switch in green and allows me to then gain access to the seat, the petrol cap, and importantly, start the engine when I'm ready. So using the key fob, I can make sure that the immobilizer is switched off, and I do that by pressing the lower of the two buttons and holding it, and it's ensuring that it turns from red to green. I don't need to do that all the time. It's just on this occasion, the bike has been left and the bike will be in a locked position. It's illuminated or allowed me to then use the ignition switch, which is in the open position off. There's an intermediate position for seat release and fuel, and I can turn it to the on position, which would then allow me to start the bike when I'm ready. So I'm just going to turn that to the seat position, fuel cap. And you can see this button here. If I press it up, it releases the cover to the petrol fuel cap, which is not a lock, it's a twist and remove. And to close it, I just reinsert and twist and close the fuel cap and press that down and it closes. And I can release the seat and you can hear the physical lock release the seat. And then I'm able to lift the seat and gain access to the storage compartment underneath. Don't need to do anything more with the seat other than ensure that it's clicked back into position. And when I'm ready, I could then press the ignition switch, turn it to the ignition on position, and the bike now, when I'm suitably dressed with the helmet on, I can actually then ride the bike and it's ready to start. To turn it off, simply turn the ignition switch to the 0 off position and we're good to go. If I wanted to walk away from this bike for any length of time and immobilize it as a means of security, I would simply then use the lower button on the fob, hold it pressed until it goes from green flashing to red, and I know that now that bike now is immobilized electronically, and as you can see, I cannot turn the ignition switch to start the bike or release the seat cap